Welcome to Martini Time. I see it's 5 o'clock by my father's watch, and I just realized something. Let me get a sip. How sweet it is. Remember Jackie Gleason? Jackie Gleason show? I know, you have to find it on YouTube. But he would always have a drink of coffee and say, oh, how sweet it is. And you knew there was something in that coffee cup. So, the title of this talk, which I just wrote, is Don't Hang from a Clock. My mother, who died at 102 when she was 100, said, you know why I'm so happy? And I said, why, Mom? And she said, because I have no future. Well, that means she wasn't hanging from a clock. And when I took her to see Avatar, 3D, and she said, you know, the first movie I saw was Harold Lloyd hanging from a clock. So let's connect the dots there. Don't hang from a clock. And I got to thinking about this. Now, I set this, I just realized, you know, I think it's 8 after 5, but I want to start at 5, so I just set the clock to be at 5 o'clock. So I'm starting on time, 5 o'clock, and I'll watch this to make sure I don't talk too long. But anyway, so I used my father's watch, what was given to him by his grandmother when he graduated from Annapolis when he was in 1929. He was a poor Irish boy, and he worked his way up through college and got an appointment to Annapolis. And she was so proud of him, she gave him this beautiful watch. And I had it restored so it keeps good time. And my initials are on the back, EGC. So even though he never gave it to me personally, after he died, I just took it. Had it restored. Anyway, so what does it mean, don't hang from a clock? I wrote about this today. I've been really, I don't know, today I've really been kind of high on creativity. I had a really good stream. I've been writing since 8 o'clock this morning, and I usually take a little nap in the afternoon, and then I have a martini and I get juiced up again. And so I've had really good stream of writing. And you know, when you're in your 80s, I'm 81, it's always good to have a good, solid, good stream. If you know what I mean. So, what have I been writing about today? Well, two things. One has been about time. And I wrote about time, and look at this watch here. Now, of course, it's backwards, and I hope I don't drop it. It is that it's a sundial. I mean, that's where this came from. A sundial, if you ever seen one, you got a dial with some numbers on it, and you have a little center pole, and the sun moves around, and the shadow moves around the dial, you see. And it used to be Roman numerals. I mean, that was a Roman clock. And then, of course, we made a portable one. You couldn't take a sundial with you. It was a stationary thing. Now we got portable time now. And then yesterday I went to Walmart and had to get a battery for my wife's clock, you see. So we went from hand time. I got to wind this every day. And you remember in Victorian age, or even up until, I don't know, recently, a man who wore a vest had a timepiece with a little chain, and he would check the time, you see. I think there was some movies made on that. But that was the man had the women were all, oh, what time is it? She would ask the man. He had time. He had control of time, you see. And so the modern civilization in the industrial age became a clock civilization. My mother's family had a bunch of aunts, so they would be my great aunts, and one of them had a son, and he was obsessed with clocks. All he did was repair clocks. And all of my mother's family, I don't know my father's family, they were gone, but anyway, all my mother's family in their Victorian homes all had clocks. My mother had clocks. I bet she had 10 clocks, you know, and these were chiming clocks. You had to wind them, you know, pendulum clocks, all kinds of clocks. And This, and then, like you said, Harold Lloyd hanging from a clock. When I write about this, it'll be on there. So look at this clock as a mandala. You know what a mandala is? That is a circle with a design in it, like a flower, with a center. Now, modern man, that's you and me, we live on the periphery of this mandala that's a clock. We live in time. I got to get up at a certain time. I got to sleep. I got to go to work. I got to get back. I got to meet you on time. I got to get there on time. I'm late. I don't have enough time. I've got too much time. Oh, will this time pass? Oh my God, it passed too fast. We think and work in time, which is thinking, which is movement. Time is movement. If nothing moves, there's no time. You understand that? If nothing moves, there's no time. There has to be movement for there to be time. So movement works on a space-time grid. You're here, and you go from here to there. The clock hand moves. The clock hand moves from here to there, you see. And we say that's 15 minutes of time. Or whatever, light years, whatever. It's a measurement of movement, you see. And so that's the world, that's the grid we live in. And so we're driven by it. We're chasing it. We're held hostage by it. We fear it. Oh, I'm running out of time. I'm going to die. That's what death means. I got no more time. And so then my mother says, I'm happy because I have no time. What did she mean? Having no future, having no time. It's very interesting. The other day I wrote about roller coasters. Now what does a roller coaster do but destroy time? You get in line for the roller coaster. You watch how much longer are we going to stand here? How much time does it take to get into the roller coaster? Finally, the car comes up. You get on the roller coaster, and you're all excited. You're going for a trip. Where? To a timeless place. And I'll guarantee you that when you're on that roller coaster ride, you're not looking at your watch and saying, how long is this ride going to last? Ever think about that? You don't think about you're not thinking on a roller coaster. A roller coaster is designed to drop you out of thinking, which is time. So here's if you get back to this mandala now, we're looking at this as a metaphor. So you've got the wheel of time. Buddha calls it the wheel of samsara. We often call it the hamster wheel. You know, the merry-go-round. We're on this like a hamster running on this wheel of time. And, trying to get off, but we never can. We're always on it. Even when we go on a vacation, it's still how long? Oh my God, we've only got one day left, you see. Time haunts us. So where can we escape this torture? The heavy weight of time. It's not that we can't do without time. I mean, you have to have time to go to Walmart. I mean, you got to have time to do things, go somewhere. We live in that grid, but in our Western view of reality, there is only time. And we create amusements, sports, wars, risky sports, sex. There's where there's no time. There's no time in good sex. There's no time in a good movie. There's no time in a good book. There's no time in a good hobby. Oh my God, 2 hours passed. I didn't even realize it. Or dancing. There's no time in dance. So we have a lot of places where we're not in time. But we always have to come back to time. Oh my God, I'm late. Oh my God, I'm going to get killed. I'm late, you see. I need more time. Or I didn't get my job done. Now I'm going to be punished. I needed more time. Or I had too much time on my hands and I got bored. And I got into trouble. I had too much time. So what's this? Where you see in the mandala, the center of the clock is the timeless place. Because in the center, the hands of the clock, the hour and the minute hand, come out of it, you see, the axis. This is called in mythology the axis mundi, this navel of the world. He's contemplating his navel. You see, the sacred mountain, the Christmas tree. I'm number one. The Washington Monument. This is the symbol of the axis mundi, the pole around which the merry-go-round goes of time, but the pole doesn't move. You take the pole out, the world flips off, you see. Take the axle off a wheel and the wheel falls off. Take the center out of the clock and the hands fall off. Take the center out of you see, what happens? You have psychosis. So the center of you as a clock is your me, your ego, your sense of identity. And this me has a history, a personality, qualities, traits, characteristics, a profile. You can list all of the qualities that define yourself. Oh, he likes this. Oh, he doesn't like that. I like pizza. I don't like pizza. Oh, yada, yada, yada. Facebook profile, you see. But that profile is in time. Because it can die, it can decay, it can change, it can be attacked, it can be wounded in time. You see. But the center doesn't move. So the me that we think is the center is not the real center, because it's in time. It can die. The timeless doesn't die. You only die in time. You only die on a point in time, you see. But the center, the false center, let's say, of our world is my idea of me. So now I protect it with opinions and positions. The more opinions and beliefs and the more rigid they are, the more protected I feel. Now I get into opinion wars on Facebook. People attack me, I attack them back. And we have a war, you see, in time. So what I'm looking at today, and what I hope you look at, is that there is a center to the watch that doesn't move, even though the hands of time go around it, you see. And that's missing from our reality map in our culture, because we live in a materialistic culture, which says only things are real. Only form is real. Only time is real. Form exists in time because form moves. You can measure the changes of form. You can take a plant. You can measure it when it starts to grow and when it fades and drops off. So it has this much time, you see. So we measure everything in the context of this map of time and space. But your center, your true center, is timeless. And we know it. We sense it. We feel it. We feel its presence. We know it's there, but we can't find it because we look for it in time. We turn around real quickly to see if it's there, and it's not there. But I feel it. I know it. It's there. I'm looking. It's non-dual. It's enlightenment. It's Satori. It's the kingdom of God. It's the promised land. It's always in time. I got to get to it. How long does it take to become enlightened? What do I have to do? Yoga, meditation, japa, the beads, all this stuff. What do I have to do to get to the timeless place where I am at peace and in my center and no longer afraid of death, no longer afraid of change, no longer afraid of being attacked or dismembered, because the center cannot be dismembered because it's not in time. So anyway, I'm just kind of playing with this idea, using the clock as a metaphor. A metaphor is a way to get hold of something that the mind can't see, because we only see form. Perception is form. I only know what form. You see, you can't know the formless because there's nothing there. It's timeless. So our center is formless. Our true center has no form. It's the knower. It's awareness. Awareness has no form. The knower has no form. The knower is you at the center of your world as the knower. And then we know stuff. But then we think the stuff we know, I know myself. I think I'm real because I know myself. But I don't know myself. You can't know yourself because you're the knower. And the knower is not something. So there's nothing to know. This is the big thing. You see, we're afraid to go into this because who will I be if I can't know myself? I have to know myself as something. I got to be something. Got to be somebody. And if I'm somebody, I have to be measured. I got to be like Trump. I got to get the highest ratings. I got to be up at the top, you see. So afraid of losing his ratings because he'll be nothing. We're so afraid of being nothing, and yet that's who we are. We're the knower of nothing and the knower of something. But you can't get there in time. And that's the big stumbling block. Well, how do I get there? What do I have to do? Got to be a Buddhist, a yogi, a Christian, whatever. We keep going on a horizontal plane trying to find a way out to find the vertical. You see. So, this is what it's all about. And you only the painful heart, only the heart that is suffering because of this puzzle, this knowing that the timeless is there but I can't find it, will drive you crazy. And that's where the leap is. When you get driven to the crazy point, it just falls off like leaves off of a tree in the fall, like ice off of the shingles in the spring. It just falls off, and there you are. You're timeless, and you look around, and it's just this. It's just this. I am time. I'm not in time. Of course, if I go to get to Walmart, I'm in time. But while I'm going there, I am time. When you are time, you're timeless. Because you're always now. And now never moves. It's always just now. Just this. And this, just this, because it doesn't move out of being just this, is timeless. No movement, no time. And yet you still need to get to Walmart and get the car fixed and all these things. But at the same time, you're at the center and you're always home, like you are on a GPS navigator. So, thanks for dropping in. See you tomorrow. Whoops, hit the thing.